Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I want to talk about my prediction for the next MP season, specifically about the physical DPS meta. And honestly, I think we're going to see quite a big change in the physical DPS lineup. For me, the biggest story is still Elinia. I don't think Elinia is going to disappear completely. We're definitely still going to see Elinia players, and the job is still extremely powerful. But with more and more people learning and unlocking the Dolan trick, I think Elinia is going to have a much harder time surviving and dominating the battlefield like before. So even if Elinia and its Uber build are still around, I expect its influence to go down significantly, and when one dominant DPS starts losing its position, that creates opportunities for other jobs to enter the competition. The first one I want to talk about is Himmelnez. For teams that don't have a strong Khafra DPS, I think Himmelnez is definitely worth considering. In terms of burst damage, I don't think Himmelnez is that far behind Khafra. The difference is that Himmelnez is simply harder to play. You need better positioning, better timing, and the right setup to maximize its potential. But if everything is done correctly, I believe Himmelnez can actually go toe-to-toe with Khafra when it comes to lethality. And the biggest advantage is its ability to execute enemies. So if your team is looking for another serious physical DPS option, I think Himmelnez deserves a lot more attention next season. And of course, you guys already know that I'm still a Himmelnez believer. But there is another job that I think could suddenly become much more interesting: Khalitzburg. And this one is actually very interesting to me. Khalitzburg has already proven that it can be a very powerful physical DPS. The problem was never really the damage. The problem was survivability. When Elinia was dominating the meta, Khalitzburg had a much harder time surviving against that kind of pressure. If Elinia starts losing its dominance next season, that creates a very interesting opening for Khalitzburg. And now with the new Frostcore-enhanced skills giving additional support to the job's damage potential, I think Khalitzburg deserves another serious look. The current official update has already introduced Frostcore skill enhancements across several inherited job cores, so this progression layer is becoming increasingly important to how jobs perform. Ragnarok Eternal Love. So for me, Khalitzburg is one of the dark horses for the next MP season. If the meta becomes less dominated by Elinia, we may finally see Khalitzburg getting the opportunity it needed. Because when you already have the damage, and the main thing holding you back starts becoming less relevant, that's when a job can suddenly come back into the competition. Another job that I think will become more common is Nameless. If Elinia really starts disappearing from the top level of the meta, Nameless could become one of the most generic and reliable execution DPS jobs. The reason is simple: Ember. That execution capability is extremely valuable. Nameless can deal with many of the defensive and anti-death mechanics that make other DPS jobs difficult to kill. So if the meta becomes more focused around surviving burst damage, defensive mechanics and anti-death abilities, having a DPS that can simply bypass those mechanics becomes extremely important. And then we have the new kid on the block, Monokuma. For me, Monokuma has a completely different role. I don't necessarily see it as the main DPS of the team. I see it more as a holder, utility and tank-oriented character. The job has very good survivability, defensive mechanics and anti-death capabilities. That makes Monokuma extremely annoying to remove from the battlefield. And that's why I think Monokuma could become a very strong holder for some teams. Sometimes it's not about how much damage you can deal. Sometimes simply staying alive, disrupting the enemy, and protecting your formation is much more valuable. So if I had to make my physical meta prediction right now, I would put the jobs like this: Himmelnez, burst and execution; Nameless, reliable execution and anti-defense; Khalitzburg, the potential comeback DPS; Monokuma, holder and utility tank. And of course, Elinia is still in the conversation, but I expect its dominance to be challenged much harder next season. For me, the most interesting one to watch is actually Khalitzburg, because we already know the damage is there. If the Elinia problem becomes less dominant, and the new Frostcore progression gives Khalitzburg even more firepower, maybe this is finally the season where Khalitzburg gets its opportunity. So if you guys are building a team for the next MP season, I wouldn't only look at the obvious meta jobs. I would definitely keep an eye on Khalitzburg, Himmelnez, Nameless and Monokuma. Of course, this is only my prediction. The actual MP battlefield can always prove us completely wrong. But that's what makes predicting the meta fun. Let's see which one of these jobs actually survives when the real competition starts. For me though, I'm still sticking with my old trusty Himmelnez for the big wars. What do you guys think? Do you agree with my prediction? Do you think Khalitzburg can finally make a comeback? Or is there another physical DPS that I completely missed? Let me know in the comments and let's discuss it. Thank you for watching, guys. See you in the next video.